Hey, Ryan.
Hey Alex, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Good. Thanks for joining. Here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I just made you a panelist, so you should let me make sure let me get you set to share as well. There we go. All right, so you should also be able to share now.
Okay, let's test it out. Can you
Excellent.
see it?
Yes, I do see it.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Should be good then.
Yeah, you can make this. Okay, so I think we can like maybe let's leave that presentation up,
Yeah.
and then yeah, we can start in about 5 minutes. But I mean, if it's working, then we're all set.
Perfect.
Technically anyone can join in right now at this point, so just FYI. But
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
yeah,
Or you can still see this okay?
I can, yes.
Okay, perfect. So you said like 6 to 8 people.
Yeah, more or less. And sometimes we get some last minute signups, but a lot of them, like I know a lot of the people that we're working with, they have summer programs at this time as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they say they just try to catch it if they can for lunch, but if not, they'll just catch it afterwards.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. So I'll yeah, I'm gonna head off just briefly. I want to take care of a few things. You can also kind of I guess take off video for a little bit, but leave the share screen on, and then we'll start in about 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Are you going to introduce me or how do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll do a little brief introduction at the beginning, just talking about what the like the webinar is about to happen. What's just a very brief intro, and then I'll pass on to you so you can kind of go from there.
Perfect.
And then we're doing and just if we're on the same page for this for anyone that participates in this webinar live, they'll be entered into a raffle for a 1 year pay subscription. Right. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Then we're otherwise yeah, we should be good. So all
All
right,
right,
I'll
awesome.
talk to you in about 4 or 5 minutes. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Everyone. This is Alex Chan here from USTA. We're going to get started in just a moment, just give maybe another minute or so. Hang tight. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So for those, I guess in the future watching, this will be all recorded. So if you miss this live version, you'll get that later on. So it'll be all good. My name is Alex Chan with the USTA Mid-Atlantic section. I'm the Associate Director of Community Services. And every month, this past year, we've been doing these Lunch and Learn webinar series featuring a different topic each month. And this month, we are going to be learning a bit more about TopCourt, which is an e-learning platform that recently became a partner with USTA Mid-Atlantic. So we're very excited to hear more about what that entails and how that can help out different providers throughout our section. So for today, we have a presentation that will be delivered by Ryan from TopCourt. And yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Ryan. She'll take the lead. And then at the end of this presentation, if anyone has any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat, or you can put it in the Q&A section. And then we'll address those at the end of this presentation. So with that said, Ryan, feel free to take it away. And Ryan, you're muted, by the way, in case you're talking.
Second.
There you go.
There we go. Thanks for the introduction, Alex. Super excited to be here and for the opportunity for Mid-Atlantic section to have us host the Lunch and Learn. We're really excited to be here. Just a little bit of background about myself. My name is Ryan Catillo. I'm obviously here on behalf of TopCourt. I am one of the business development directors. Just a little bit of background about me. I am from New York. I live here now. I grew up as tennis being a very big part of my life. So I played all the, USTA junior circuit events and played college tennis at Wake Forest. So super excited to be back, while I'm not on court as much as I would like to be anymore. I do coach still here and there on the side. And I have the opportunity to, be a part of something that's really, innovative and exciting for the tennis world. So thank you to you guys for having me. And I will definitely open it up for questions at the end. Just to give you guys kind of a brief rundown, I will walk you through, essentially our mission, the platform itself, and how, we could potentially come into play for you as a coach or, with your organization or club, et cetera. So we're extremely, with that said, extremely proud and excited to be named the official e-learning platform for USTA Mid-Atlantic. So we're working together to provide unique access to one of the most, if not the most innovative training resources that we have to this date in the game. So super happy to have the opportunity to discuss our mission and the platform. So with that said, I'll kind of walk you guys through everything, but pretty high level at TopCourt, we're really changing the game when it comes to modernizing the way that we consume and learn our sport. So as you guys probably all know, tennis has historically been pretty behind the ball from a technology perspective. So we're really here to change that with an extremely easy to use platform that can meet the player where they are, no matter what their level, and really grow with them as they improve. So we're working to make tennis even more accessible to people off court, not just on court. So getting more people into the game and keeping people in the game. So I'm sure, what's been the common theme, especially over the last year and a half, is there's been a really big boom in terms of people playing the game. So now it's our mission to really keep people in the game, and we're doing whatever we can to kind of keep that moving. So it's important to note that our founders are all huge tennis players, and they really saw a gap in the market for tennis education. So of course, they always wanted to spend a ton of time on court because that's really important, and time with their coaches, and playing with different people. But the real question is, how do we continue to learn when we're off court in between sessions in, a fun and productive way? So to keep a long story short, we've really set out to change the way that tennis is consumed, like I touched on before, to really give players of all levels the ability to participate, and coaches the ability to engage with their players even further. So essentially to really create this online platform, this online community for tennis. So, from our perspective, what better way to keep players and fans motivated and continuing to learn when they are not on court than learning from the best, right? So essentially these top pros, and we do have some legendary coaches on the platform, they're giving fans and players of all levels a real authentic look into their life, their mind, their performance, and what makes them the game's best. So just to speak to the talent that we do have on the platform, to give you guys a good idea, you can really take your pick of world number ones, Grand Slam champions, Olympic gold medalists. Pictured here are just some of them, but we are currently at 56 top players and coaches on the platform. So we have everyone from some of your more like legendary coaches or players now. So we have Lindsey Davenport, Brad Gilbert, Paul Anacone, just to name a few of those. Then we have some really, big up and comers between Alex Vera, Bianca Andreescu, Andre Rublev, Venus Williams, the Bryan brothers. So as we grow, we continuously add more and more players and coaches on the platform, and to constantly keep, things fresh and new for the users. And what is different about TopCourt compared to, what you can currently find on the internet, whether that's YouTube or any other resources out there, is again, it's this comprehensive, really behind the scenes view to these players showing you, they're part of the platform, they're backing us, they're really showing you how they train, what goes on in their minds through the process, and how they got to be where they are now. So that's really where we come into play, and we deliver something really engaging and exciting to, learn from as a supplement to what you guys are already doing, whether it's coaching or playing. So as we all likely know, a very big part of the game is mental, right? That's, essentially no matter the level that you are at, what separates, the good from the great. So this is really why we think TopCourt is a great supplement to on-court playing. So really giving students and coaches the opportunity to continue learning, to learn from these really big icons and keep motivation and excitement high around tennis. So on the platform, not only do we have drills and instructions coming from these, big names, but we also have stories of failures, successes, habits, mindsets, even just upbringing of specific players and coaches that really can improve the way that your students approach the game to make them, more well-rounded players every time they're on court. So another pivotal piece to what sets TopCourt apart is how we deliver the content. So number one, it's done in small segments, also called microlearning. It's a version of learning, if you're not familiar, that's backed by the latest in cognitive science research, and it's perfect for the current and newer generation of learners, many of whom I'm sure you guys are working with. Essentially, the videos are between about 3 and 8 minutes long. So they're quick. It makes it really easy to not only watch on your own time, but to be able to implement it on court, engage with it, and go back out and practice it. And what we've also done is we've created an algorithm that provides our user with a more personalized experience, meaning when you use TopCourt, you'll be directed to content that is tailored to you specifically. So if any of you have like a Netflix or a Hulu or any kind of streaming service like that, when you go on, and it will recommend shows and movies to you based on, what you watch or what you're engaging with. That's exactly what we've done with the platform, which is really awesome and creates a more, unique and personalized experience. Another great thing about TopCourt is it can be consumed anywhere, anytime, and on any device. So, you can use it on your phone, on your browser. We just released our mobile app, which is super exciting, last month. So what this does is it makes it really easy for a lot of coaches who use it, use the platform for weekly take-home assignments with their players, programs, organizations who use it on court, just integrating some of the drills and the instructions with their lessons and programming, whether that's, on their phones, on their iPads, or even off court, just kind of, again, like I said, sending them take home assignments, something to engage with, like, hey, we're going to work on this, next week when I see you. Again, it's really just this added level of engagement between the player and coach, just to keep everyone engaged and motivated and playing more tennis, right? That's our biggest goal. And then two things that I do like to point out about TopCourt. Number one, it's extremely easy to use the platform, which I'm going to give you a demo of shortly. So you'll get a really good sense of, what we have to offer and how to use it. Number two, it is built for all levels, like I mentioned. So no matter if you're purely interested in tennis, you've been playing for decades, you're a beginner, just picked up a racket, or you're a league player or competitive junior, the platform meets you where you are, again, with that personalization algorithm. So in fact, what does surprise people, and we do drive this home, is I think a lot of people see the platform and they see these big names and they're like, I can't do the drills that, Venus Williams is doing or what the Bryan brothers are doing. But the majority of we've created the platform with this in mind, that we want to be approachable. We want this to be for every level of a tennis player, beginners included, because we want them to progress and we want to keep them in the game. And what better way, it's just such a cool and fun way to learn from these big names, these big icons. So the drills, the instructions on here are super approachable and very doable for beginners and intermediate players, which I'll give you guys a good taste of in a minute, but just definitely wanted to drive that home. And then before going into the demo, just wanted to give the perspective of a couple of big users that we have on the platform. So here you'll see that the coaches at First Break and Saddlebrook have adopted the learnings from TopCourt to improve their programs and then use it as a tool or a resource, a supplement for their players to continue improving, continue learning, and have them, wanting to come back for more. So what I want to call out is these coaches, they don't just give TopCourt to their players, and don't get me wrong, many individuals globally are and can and should be using TopCourt individually, but rather these coaches have adopted the platform. They learn from the pros with their players, incorporate it into their programs, and use it as a continuing education tool for their players. And then last but not least, before getting into the demo, we're extremely proud to be also the official e-learning platform for the ATP and WTA. So obviously this was, a huge achievement for us to be able to achieve our mission to have a big impact on tennis and grow the sport into the next generation. And, we've got a ton of players. We keep adding a ton of these big names, and it's just awesome to be able to align with, some of the big organizations that believe in us and also have the same mission, just like, Mid-Atlantic section. So just wanted to call that out as well. But now what I'll do is I will take you all through a demo of the site. Again, I think I can, talk about it all day, but when I can really kind of show it to you and it's tangible and you can see how it works, it has a much better effect. Number one, again, just to drive home kind of how far we've come over the last year. We launched last June, just to give you guys some perspective. We had 12 players on the platform. And like I mentioned before, now we have, we're up to 56 and growing. So What we do is we launch a new players series every 3 weeks. So if you see at the top here, you can scroll through and see who's coming up next. So last week we launched Felix. In about 2 weeks, we'll be launching Zverev. And then another thing to note, like I mentioned, the algorithm learns you. So this homepage from here down is going to look very different for me than it is for you or anyone else using it, just again, based on how you use the platform and how it's optimized. A couple of things here, which I think is awesome for on-court use. We have the ability to segment the content based on the category of the videos. So just because there's so much content on here now, this is what makes it really easy to navigate and kind of tailor the videos to your advantage, allows you to see, you know, things you want to see or implement with specific types of players. The stories, again, are going to be those off-court series, anything from their personal lives, their upbringing, mental aspects of the game, habits, etc. Drills are going to be just that, them kind of walking you through drills that they love, drills that are really effective. The instructions are either, they're typically stroke specific, technique based, a lot of court positioning stuff like it doubles, which I'll show you some of the Bryan brothers drills. And then behind the scenes, excuse me, instructions, not drills. And then behind the scenes are essentially like rapid fire, fun, personal questions, which really give you this kind of connection to the players, which is really cool as well. So what's great here is, like I was touching on, you have the ability to segment it by the category. So for example, if you're working with a specific player and you want a bunch of forehand drills, you can click on forehand, backhand, serve, return, etc. If you want to segment the content by skill level, you can do that as well. Again, just because there's so much on here, it makes it really easy to navigate and play what it is that you want to play. So for example, if you're looking for, you know, someone struggling with their forehand and you want to do a couple forehand drills, you can right here scroll through all of the forehand drills that we have to offer. So it just really makes it pretty efficient to be able to navigate the platform. Another way to navigate through, we have a search feature at the top. So if you want to search, you know, serve, for example, all of the drills, all the instructions we have on the serve come up. If you want to search a specific player, a specific drill, whatever we have is going to populate here. So that makes it pretty simple. Personally, the way that I like to use the platform to view the content, I click on Team TopCourt. Unless I'm, you know, giving a lesson, I'm not on court as much as I would like to be anymore. But this makes it really easy to essentially learn from players who you either kind of connect with or who you enjoy learning from. This allows you to be able to navigate through all of their content. So as you can see here, these are all of the players that we have. And what I'm going to do now is I would love to walk you guys through a couple of clips of the content, just so you can see how it's delivered. One thing to note too, the quality of the videos, the production quality is very important to us. It's something that also we believe separates us. So what we do, just so you understand, we film the players. So on filming day, it's like a 5.5 to 6.5 hour film day. We have a whole crew of 25 people. There's cameras, drones, the whole nine. It's really important to us to be able to deliver something that's, you know, really exciting and clear and fun to watch. So that's also something that I think is important to note, because it really does, you know, separate us from some of the other tennis content that's currently out there, aside from the fact that it's all on one platform and coming, you know, from these big names. So I'll walk you through, this is a player page. So this is Lindsey Davenport. She has some really great stuff for more kind of recreational beginner players. So what I'll do is I'll play a quick clip of a drill. Let's do the forehand footwork and spacing drill. And what I will say, and unfortunately there's not a great way around this, on screen share, the playing of the video on screen share is sometimes a little bit laggy. So I'll go through this at the end. I'm gonna play through it because I think it'll come through clear enough. We do have a free trial to provide you guys for being part of this and through our partnership today. So I do encourage you guys to really take advantage of the free trial, but I'll kind of walk you through a couple of clips now.
Once you have mastered the acceleration part of the forehand, it's time to move on to the footwork part. Very important when you're hitting forehands, that you have a lot of quick little steps to get in the right position and be able to make contact out in front. A common mistake for a lot of players is they don't get far enough away from the ball and end up getting jammed, making contact back by their right hip. Today, we're going to work on with Claire, alternating forehands, one from the deuce side of the court, then working on that inside out, inside in, big shot forehand from the ad side. Claire is going to alternate her position when she gets an inside out forehand to go to both locations. A lot of acceleration, a lot of little steps from Claire to get around and make good contact. Get in position, great speed. She's getting everyone over the net. More importantly, she's in the correct position for all of these shots. Enough space, good steps there. Now a tough one, get all the way around it. Perfect.
Awesome. So again, as I mentioned, a lot of the videos are tailored to, more of the beginner rec players, but we do have some more advanced types of drills and instruction, and really dependent on, who it is that you're looking to learn from. They come across as if they're, teaching specific, groups or levels of players. So I'll also play right now. I think the Bryan brothers have a lot of awesome stuff, specifically for, obviously doubles, club players. I'm going to show you a doubles serve positioning instruction video. I think they're really, articulate and explain things pretty clearly, which is great.
Okay, so let's talk about the serve position. If I'm serving and Mike's my net man, he's going to tell you where he stands. And we vary the position a little bit. Now it's gone a little bit more to the I formation, where guys are standing in the middle of the court. At the rec level, you could try this, but if you do it, always stand in the same spot. You don't want to have tells. Just like poker, if you're standing more to the left and you always go left, you always want to play consistent and not give away where you're going to poach. But we play straight up, normal positioning. We feel like we're a little slow out of the eye. So we don't like getting down and getting up 100 times a match. It's just not good on the bodies. So we'll play pretty conventional. We like to stand right in the middle of the box. We like to play tight because when you play tighter, it takes away any ball that comes across the middle. We feel like it really shuts down and it looks more intimidating to the opponent. I know where Bob's going to be serving. So he's always communicating where he's going to be serving. A lot of times, if he doesn't, then I'll give him a signal behind my back. This means T, this is wide, this is middle. If he goes down the T, I know I can pinch the middle a little bit more because it's really tough for an opponent to pull the ball up the line. So I'll step 1 or 2 more feet out here and look for, we call it cherry pick and volleys. Like if he makes the first serve, we're always looking for the cherry pick, and that ball's usually coming across the middle. You don't have to move all the way to the alley. Like this is good enough. If you can get to right here, there's no way they can beat you because you can reach across and they'd have to hit all the way to the alley, hit the line. Yes, it doubles. You want the first.
And then lastly, I'm going to show you guys, I think this is really important. Honestly, this is my favorite part of the platform, are the stories that we have coming from these players. I think there's a ton of, unique insights that we haven't, heard before. It's something that I personally, as, a huge tennis fan, love watching and engaging with. instead of, watching Netflix at night or watching anything on TV, is just kind of these stories. And I think it really gives you that kind of personal connection and gives you some insights as to, how they got to where they are, and what they're currently doing. So with that said, I will show you, the last thing I'll show you in terms of video is Paul Anacone. He has a lot to say about his experiences coaching some of the biggest players. If you guys aren't familiar, well, I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with Paul Anacone, but he speaks a little bit about what it was like coaching Federer. And what's unique about Paul is obviously he was a player and a coach, but he also coaches Taylor Fritz, who we have on the platform. So a lot of their content is in tandem. So he plays, the coach role while Taylor is playing, which is a really cool dynamic. But I'll show you this story here. I think it's great.
He was a great guy to coach because the first day we walked on the court, we were in a trial period. And after 5 or 10 minutes after we'd done his warm, he looks at me and goes, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" And I said, "It's that simple. What do I want you to do?" And he goes, "You're going to have to tell me why if I don't understand why, but just tell me what you want me to do." And so that was the basis of our relationship, which was do this for this reason. And that's kind of how he did everything. So when he goes through strength and conditioning with Pierre, he does everything from plyometrics to weights to interval training to stretching to cardio to anaerobic bursts, all different combinations of things melded together. And depending on the intensity and the time of our training block, I would do more or less of similar stuff on the court so that Pierre and I would have the same balance. But he would do stuff that made himself really uncomfortable on the court. He would do things specifically so that it would help him get better, but also help him understand how to not react in a negative way if things aren't perfect. So we spent a lot of times doing varied things. We would do things to work on that beautiful short slice backhand that he has. We did a lot of things working on taking the ball early, did a lot of things working on trying to find ways to be more aggressive returning serve, a lot of drills where he can't back up from the baseline. And as you know, Roger might be the best player of all time in terms of taking your time away.
So as you guys can probably imagine, there's a ton of stuff on here. Again, I mean, those stories are going to be completely unique, dependent on, who you're looking to learn from, who you're looking to implement. But I think hopefully that gives everyone a pretty good, at least, screenshot or view into how the platform works. One other thing I wanted to show is we've gamified the platform, which is really great. What that means essentially, we want people to not just, watch the videos, but we want them to be, coming back for more and engaging with the platform. So we've created this gamification feature where you can earn and use what we call gold quartz. So for example, the more you utilize the platform, you are rewarded for it. So if you, select your favorite players, like videos, comment on them, share links, you are rewarded with gold quartz. And then we also provide our users with the opportunity to use your gold quartz for experiences and essentially access to the players. So we're constantly adding to this. We have currently the ability to use your gold quartz for signed merchandise from the players. So we have signed balls, t-shirts, etc. We have active sweepstakes. In the past, what they've been is essentially tickets to our filming events, which are awesome opportunities. Obviously, it's, any tennis player's dream to be, hanging out with these players, watching them on court, interacting with them, taking pictures. So that, and again, this gamification feature just keeps people coming back to the platform and utilizing it. So just wanted to give you a good scope of how that feature works on the platform. As you guys can see, TopCourt is extremely easy to use. It meets the player where they are with not only, the technology that's available there and the players that we have, but that it's also for all skill levels. Most importantly, provides an added level of engagement between coaches and players to have them working, on tennis, to have them engaging with tennis, excited about tennis when they're not, physically on court. So that is kind of the end of the demo. But what I'd like to do, just to explain to everybody here, again, due to our partnership with the Mid-Atlantic section, we are able to provide free access for everyone to really dig into the platform for free for 2 weeks. It will allow you all to kind of see how you can use it yourself, best implement it, get new ideas, be more engaging for your players, and potentially integrate some of the learnings into your programming. And I think just to give you guys some feedback too, I mean, the feedback we mostly get from coaches, why they enjoy using this, is because it's a different voice, right? You can be the best coach in the world, but honestly, a lot of players, and I can kind of attest to this when I was younger, like when you hear the same thing from the same person over and over again, even if they're saying the same thing as Venus Williams, it just kind of hits home sometimes when it's coming from these big names. So that's one of the huge perks that a lot of the coaches say that they like using it, and it's essentially why they use it. But yes, this is the link here. What it's going to do is it's going to bring you to USTA Mid-Atlantic's landing page, and you'll enter in your information to activate the free trial. And just so everyone understands, the pricing of the platform is, for our basic subscription, it's $180 annually. So that will, as long as, if you guys, don't want to move forward after the trial, you can just deactivate it in settings before the end of the 14 days. But if you do decide to stay on, which I'm hoping a lot of you will decide to, it is $180 that is charged onto the card on the 14th day. But just wanted to kind of outline that for you guys. But would love to, at this point, open it up for any questions. Alex, not sure if you wanted to kind of run it, or you tell me what works best.
Sure. Yeah. So as I mentioned, if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to put it in the chat or put in the Q&A section. I know one of the questions that popped up was about the cost, which you mentioned it was $180 annually. I think one follow-up question, at least on mine too, is there an option to pay monthly, or has to be a one?
Yeah, so currently with our business model, it is a one-time annual fee. It's an annual subscription. So the reasoning for that, just so you guys understand, is we, again, like I mentioned, we launch a new player series every 3 weeks. So there's constantly something new that we don't want people missing out on. So, we don't want people coming on being like, oh, I just wanted to see Venus for the month and deactivate. So that's, our business model. At the moment, it is just an annual subscription.
Okay, gotcha. I guess I had a couple of questions on my end, if I may ask. So I guess one question I had was, are there going to be any new or expanded features that we should be looking forward to in the near future?
Yeah, 100%. So a couple of things we're constantly adding. Honestly, every time we get feedback, we love getting feedback from the users. Also, if you guys sign up for the free trial, there is a feedback section. So please, anything that you guys think that can improve it, make it more efficient or effective for you, please do so. A couple of things that I think are definitely worth noting is we will be launching a series or a feature, excuse me, where we're going to have a series of online webinars just like this with some of our talent. So you'll have the ability to be able to, hop on and, for example, ask Chris Everett some questions. That's something new. We do have a couple of partnerships where we'll be integrating, in terms of the gamification aspect of the platform, we'll be integrating like gift cards for tennis products, ATP and WTA tournament tickets will be available on there. So aside from that, there's a lot of, different directions we can, take this down the line, whether that's kind of expanding the breadth of the content. We do want to get into some of the more nutrition aspects, the off-court physical training. You guys will see that we have some content on Felix doing his warm-up on court, which was really cool, and a lot of people love that. So we're definitely going to look into that, adding a lot more of that moving down the line, some behind the scenes from the players, things of that nature. So, and again, we're constantly adding, I mean, honestly, every couple weeks we're signing more talent. So that's the big thing, is that there's always someone new being released, which is awesome.
Great. And I was going to mention, I think you said like every few weeks there's something new that comes on. Are you
Correct.
able to give a hint to any like upcoming special talents that are coming along, or that's a
Yeah. So I think, so what we do kind of tentatively plan out our release schedule for the next couple of months. And what we try to do, just so you can understand, is kind of release players in a meaningful way. So for example, we had Felix come out. He's from Canada, the tournament swing in Canada. Alex Vera, we're releasing him in conjunction with the US Open, given that he's, a contender to win the title. So while we do make plans, things change. If someone loses in the first round of a tournament, people aren't gonna be as excited about it. So, but I think exciting people to come up. Felix's content is incredible. Personally, I was not super familiar with him. I didn't really follow him. I knew he was, an up and comer, but just being a part of the filming event and having the opportunity to meet him, he's very young. I think he's 19 or 20. He's so well spoken, so articulate, and like laser focused. So his drills and instructions I thought were incredible. I learned a lot from watching his. I think Alex Vera is going to be some of the best stuff that we have. We had him and his brother Misha for 2 full days. So there's going to be a ton of doubles content between the two of them, which I think is going to be awesome, especially for like more of the rec players. Also later on in the fall, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario and Emilio, her brother, who runs his obviously very well-known academy, do a tandem lesson or series of lessons. So I think their stuff is going to be great. But yeah, that's what I can say now in terms of releases. So a lot more to come.
Sounds good. And then I know we kind of you have mentioned at the beginning of how some users, some providers use this platform. I think I just kind of want to talk that through. So for, let's say, a group, let's just say I'm the main person at running a community tennis association in the area.
Sure.
What are some of the different ways that I could use this platform within like our business and like for our students? What are different options, I guess, that you would suggest?
Yeah, no, 100% great question. I think at its core, where we've seen the most success is with the pro staff naturally using the platform on their own and integrating it into their lessons, right? So not only integrating it into their lessons, but kind of personalizing it dependent on who they're working with. So I think what's really easy about the platform is that for a tennis fan or a tennis coach, it's really natural to just pull it up and watch and engage with the content, because it's actually fun and engaging. It's not, some of this stuff, it's like you feel like you have to watch it. The quality's not that great. So it's really easy to use on your own. We've created playlists and favorites, which I think are huge. So the playlist, for example, what some of the coaches do is, say they have like ladies league players, like 2-5s and 3-0s, and they'll do a bunch of drills in that section. So they can just click on that playlist, introduce the drill on whether it's their phone or their iPad, so they can see it. A lot of people are such visual learners. It makes it more tangible. It makes it more real. And then they can, go out and play. So that's just an example of how the playlists work. Same goes for favorites. It kind of categorizes the content. We also have a couple different ways. Specifically, we partner with, different programs, organizations, nonprofits, CTAs. We like to tailor our partnerships dependent on the organization's need, size, and we're pretty flexible. So if anyone is interested in learning a little bit more about this, or even just connecting further, asking me any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'd love to, share specifically how we could be a unique and engaging resource for you and or your players. And we have a customer success team that essentially their job is to work with our users, work with our partners to make things better, and essentially to ensure that the platform is tailored to fit their needs. So my contact information is here as well for anybody, my email, my phone number for anybody who would like to connect further. I'm happy to do that as well.
And just one last question on my end is, I'm just curious, is there if you go on the platform, can you, is there like a way to see like what's the highest viewed videos or top favorite videos or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's a feature called trending videos. So no matter what category you click on, down where, let me see if I can show you quickly. Where I showed you that you can, as you can see here, trending always comes up first. So trending and recently added are always going to be at the top, no matter what you kind of click on. So that's what you can see. That's where you can see, the videos that are most popular at the moment and what most people are watching.
Okay, great.
Here. Any other questions for me?
I think that is it for now, but yeah, if anyone did have any questions, Ryan does have her information here, so feel free to reach out to her. And I posted the link to like our USTA Mid-Atlantic, a link to get the 14-day free trial. It's in the chat. So definitely, it doesn't hurt. Give it a try. See if it works for you, and then yeah, go from there. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate Ryan for taking this time out to showcase the platform and explaining all the benefits that it can provide. And yeah, very, very excited to have this partnership with y'all, and hopefully our groups can benefit from it as well.
Yeah, 100%. No, thank you so much, Alex, and to everyone at USTA Mid-Atlantic for having me today. And again, anyone, feel free to reach out at any time for any further conversation, questions, comments. I'm happy to help.
Absolutely. Great. And just a reminder that there will be one randomly selected person that attended the live webinar that will be getting a 1-year free subscription. So once that person's selected, I'll connect with you, Ryan, on who that is. We'll go
yeah, no, that's great. We'll definitely get that over to the lucky winner.
Great. All right. Thanks again, Ryan. And we can go ahead and end this webinar. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you all for all those that are watching this in the future. So thank you everyone, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye everyone.
Thanks everyone. Have a good day.